Here's Rodders!
Good morning, legends. Welcome to Here's Rodders Reviews. I'm your host, Rodney Stewart. Watching quite a few random things online at the moment, and I was on Amazon Prime Video last night, and I came across The Ice Road. I had no idea this movie was even out. Stars Liam Neeson, Marcus Thomas, and Lawrence Fishburne, Amber Mid-Thunder, I don't know how you'd pronounce her second name, Benjamin Walker, and quite a few other people that you would recognise from other things. Like, there's a pretty huge cast on here for like an Amazon original. You kind of think to yourself, even these days, I know myself, like I kind of think, you get into the mindset of like the Hollywood movies or the big movies, the big places to be, and you're thinking like Amazon originals and Netflix originals. You're thinking this is a step down for a lot of people, but that's not the case. Like, there's a lot of big names doing these movies, and The Ice Road was one I was super interested in watching. It came out 2021 as the release date in this thing, so it must just be out. And the reason I was so interested in checking this out was the fact that my father was a long distance truck driver here in Northern Ireland, so anything related to trucks and that sort of thing, like Convoy, Smokey and the Bandit, all those sorts of movies really kind of resonate with me, just because I'm the son of a truck driver. And plus with The Ice Road here, I'm actually a huge fan of the show Ice Road Truckers, which was a documentary series essentially that followed these guys that were actually driving these roads in real life across the oceans every year, taking stuff up to the diamond mines in Canada. So this movie, based on around that there, super interested to check it out. Liam Neeson in there, never a bad thing. I actually live about a 25 to 30 minute drive from his hometown in Ireland here. So yes, the man himself. So basically the idea of this movie is there has been an explosion in a mine in Canada's Manitoba. A methane leak caused the explosion. It killed 8 miners and left 26 trapped inside the mine, but they can't get in to save these guys until they can cap off the methane, and they have to transport this, like what they call a cap, is it? Wellhead cap, and 300 feet of pipe. They need to get that transported up to the mines in under 30 hours. So Neeson's character is a trucker who has been constantly losing jobs because of his brother is a veteran from the army that has come back from Iraq with huge mental scars, and he's not fitting well into society, and people are making fun of him because of this. It's a sad fact of reality that these guys go through. So Neeson, at the beginning of the film, gets fired from his latest job in defence of his brother. Knocks this guy out for making fun of him, so they're trapped, no job. Lawrence Fishburne's character is the guy that's running this company that's going to be in charge of taking this stuff up to Canada to help these miners. Simple, straightforward enough storyline. They end up getting a convoy put together, a small convoy, 3 trucks. Fishburne isn't one of them. Neeson and his brother is in the other one, and the third one is this young woman whose brother is trapped in the mine in Canada. So off they go, along with this guy that's been put into the convoy with them, who's a representative of the insurance company that's dealing with the claim situation in this movie. And not far into the journey, like, you're thinking to yourself, after having seen The Ice Road Truckers, you know that these guys are driving, full-size trucks with full-size loads across the ocean, basically on top of the ice, which is about 30 inches thick at most. This movie takes place 4 or 5 weeks after the ice road season actually closes in Canada. So that closes at the point where the ice is getting to that stage where it's just no longer really safe to drive on. So, you know, the safety margin of the ice is completely gone in this episode. And you know, this is going to be an action movie. You know, how much action you're going to get at a convoy that can't go over 20 miles per hour. Basically, like, it's just, you're essentially putting your truck into gear and letting it go under the strength of its own engine. You're not really putting much acceleration into it, so it's going to be a small speed throughout the movie. Because if you're going, and this does tie into the story, like, there's a few shots on here at the very beginning where I'm kind of thinking to myself, alright, you know, this is a movie, they're going to be pushing action at some point. They're clearly driving too quick for the ice at this point. But they do tie that into the story later on as we get there. Basically, when you're driving something like that on the ice, you have to be going at a certain speed all the time, because if you're going too slow, you're going to put too much weight on the ice. Too much weight, crack the ice, and you go. But you can't drive too fast either, because when you're driving on the ice, it's actually bending under the weight of the truck, and it's creating a wave and below it, and the wave is moving ahead of the truck. So the quicker you go, the bigger the wave gets, and if it gets big enough and strong enough, it's going to crack the ice in front of you, and you're going to drive into a hole to the bottom of the ocean. But they do tie that into the movie later on. Not long into the journey, Lawrence Fishburne's truck breaks down, complete mechanical failure, and eventually that truck goes through the ice, taking him along with it. Cutting it short for you guys, check the movie out yourself. And they start to suspect that someone did this on purpose. The truck that he was driving, Liam Neeson is like, you know, I have never known any of these trucks to pack up as easily as that did, unless the fuel that it was pumping was wrong, and someone rigged the truck to break down on the ice. And they blame this girl that's with them, because she was at one point, a couple of years previous, working for Fishburne's company, and he sacked her. So they're putting it down to revenge on her part. You know, this guy sacked me, put me out of a job, I'm going to take him out, make it look like an accident. So she ends up tied up in the truck before they get underway again. The real villain is revealed to be this guy from the insurance company. Now, what's happened is, essentially, the company that was running the mine was aware that there was this risk of an explosion due to methane in the mines, but the greed got the better of these guys, so they were paying off the workers in the mines to turn off their monitors. They've got these monitors in there to check levels of methane. If it gets too high, too dangerous, they have to get out. They can't drill anymore. So this company was paying these guys off to look the other way, basically. And now they're paying the price for it. The workers are. And this guy has been placed in the convoy to make sure that it doesn't make it to the mine. And you know, he tries to take out Liam Neeson and his brother, and of course it gets to the point where Neeson's like, you know, this is no longer about money. This is personal. We're going after this guy. So the action starts then as Neeson tries to get the final load to the mine. The deal was, the reason there was 3 trucks in the convoy carrying the exact same cargo on each trailer was the risk factor. You know, if one truck can make it without the other 2, that's just the reality of the ice roads. Like, it's, if you're going on to do that job, there's a very high possibility you're not making it back. It's very, financially, it's a fantastic job for a trucker to get. You're going to make huge money doing it, but you're really putting your life on the line to get the job done. And yes, I really did enjoy this movie. As I say, for a film that's based upon the ice road truckers and the whole ice road in Canada, and you're thinking, you know, how much action can you get into a movie like this here? It turns out you can get quite a bit into it, and it is very, you know, some of the visual effects in there aren't great, but the reality of the ice road and the translation of that into this movie was fairly accurate, and definitely worth checking out if you, like myself, are a fan of the Ice Road Truckers documentary series. It's definitely one worth checking out, and it's got a nice little ending to it. And yes, it definitely wasn't a waste of my time anyway. I enjoyed it. So check it out yourself and let me know what you thought of it in the comments below this video or podcast. Guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do, don't forget to turn on that bell icon to be notified of future uploads. And please check out some of the other videos on this channel while you're here.